Good evening, dear all. We are so happy to see all of you joining EWB Thursday webinars, and uh, we are so excited to welcome our speakers from different countries. And today it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our speaker today. Um, Miss Gulnur Okenova. She's a TESOL certified English teacher with over a decade of experience, and she's the co-founder and CEO of the educational center Let's Study in Karaganda, specializing in IELTS preparation. And she's also the coordinator of Kazakhstani Association of English Language Teachers, KazALT in Karaganda, and she promotes professional development among educators. Gulnur holds a master's in engineering and technology and speaks at international conferences on innovative teaching practices, inspiring learners and educators alike. So, welcome to English without Boris, dear Gulnur, and we are very happy to welcome you and also to give you the floor. And in the meantime, we ask our followers to join as soon as possible and use this opportunity as an investment hour to your professional development and also teaching experience, gaining teaching experience. And don't hesitate to ask your questions after the presentation to our speaker, and make sure that your questions are in the chat box or in the comment box via Facebook or via Zoom forwarded to us. Thank you so much, and over to you, Gulnur.
Thank you very much for inviting. I'm very honored to be here conducting my speech. I think I can get started right here. I just want to be sure that everyone sees the screen. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So it will be really great. So if you could turn your cameras on, so I could see you, so we could interact, because maybe you know that for speakers it's usually more enjoyable to conduct the speech to people who we can see. But if you can't, it's okay. I can understand. All of us are busy. Someone on the way, someone at work, someone with a family, with the babies, and so on. And we can get started. So today I'm going to share my experience in creating the Quest games. Yes, we will discuss with you step by step, everything from creating it and, of course, just selling here. And how Miss Nasiba introduced me here. I'm a TESOL certified English teacher, yes, with over 10 years experience here. Here's me. And also, I have my own educational center in Karaganda, Kazakhstan. So we have not only IELTS preparation, also subjects like algebra, geometry, physics, and so on. And here, my lovely students and my teachers. Also, yes, I'm an IELTS tutor and I'm a coordinator in Karaganda of Kazakhstani Association of English Language Teachers, which has representatives already in Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan here. And we also have some members from your community, by the way, and Ms. Bunisa also is one of the most active participants in all webinars and the speaking clubs. So we also will be very happy to see you there. And how it also, and here are actually my members, not all of them are here. So we conduct offline meetings every month in every city of Kazakhstan. And also I hold a master's in engineering and technology. So I'm like kind of engineer by my vocation, but by my profession, but a teacher by my vocation here. And of course, a speaker in different conferences. So this is my first time to conduct a speech for this topic. Usually I talk about speaking, about solving conflicts between teachers, students, so on. So like more maybe on business topics here. So that's why I'm a little bit worried. So I hope you will support me. So be active and don't hesitate to ask any questions. And the first thing I want to tell you is how it all started. So how I guess most of you are teachers here, right? Okay. And I think everyone thought how to make our lessons engaging, yes, interesting, so our students can enjoy it and want to come and be only your students and love you very much. So we try to do everything. We always search for different activities, different quests, tasks. We try to learn more and more information about different approaches. And when we wanted to make different kind of quests for our students, and when it came to our, for example, math and physics teachers, we found out that there is nothing interesting for them. And so we decided, why not to make ours? So we have tons of materials for English and we use, of course, them, but there is nothing for the other subjects. So we decided to make something that could be suitable for any subject, for any level, for any students. And this is how it all started. And maybe you could have a question. So why is it necessary? Why you have to create your own quest games? First of all, it can let your lessons to be diversified. Not just maybe typical lecture or sometimes on just typical pair group works that we have on our lessons. Sometimes quests can make your lessons more engaging. The second one, of course, your students engaged, active, they want more and more, and they will expect something interesting, and they'll be interested more in studying. That is actually our goal, to make our students motivated in studying. And also it lets increase their interest in learning, whatever subject it is. Of course, gamification, it is very important to have such element in our lesson. And we also tricky, we can use it as a format of assignments, tests, exams, and we usually conduct our quests at the end of the term or at the end of the year, where we have a different task for students. We say like, oh, we have got a quest game today, but they don't know that we are actually checking. Did they get the topic? Do we need to work more on that? And should we have extra lessons for that? So that is very tricky way, yes, to conduct your different assignments and exams. And of course, it lets you to become a more competitive and advanced educator, because not all teachers use the quests. Yes, they have maybe their own methods, but that can let it to be more unique in this way. And which is not less important, the recordings, the videos from your quests can help you to promote, yes, your brand, your personal brand as a teacher. If you own or run your own educational center, language center, it lets you to promote the brand of your center, and it'll also like, oh, I want to study there. I want to study with this teacher. So it also lets you to attract more and more students. And how I said, sometimes material found on the internet can be not relatable to your students' level, needs, yes, and maybe even the topics. So why not to make your own? And of course, this is an extra source of income. So if you made the quest yourself, why not to help the other colleagues who don't have time to create their own, and you can a little bit earn some money there. Okay, so we have some more guests here. Hello, everyone. So it will be great, yes, if you turn your videos on or type in the chat. We'll be happy to see you there. So we talked with you here about why it is necessary to make your own quest games. Now, what to do? If you decided to make your own quest game, what you have to start from? First of all, you should think about the theme for your quest. It can be popular Harry Potter topic, maybe Lord of Rings, maybe pirates, maybe animes. But the one thing, you have to be professional at this topic yourself. Because if you decided to make, for example, comics, Marvel and DC comics, and if you say that Batman is Marvel, children will destroy you. So you should know a little bit or even more about this topic so you can create an engaging and active quest for your students. So try to know more. Maybe there is topics that you are really good at. Maybe doramas, maybe you're a fan of K-pop. Yes. So why not to make a quest on that? And if you know that your students will be interested in that, they will love you, of course, more after your lessons. And here are just some examples. Here example of the quests which we got from our Russian colleagues. It's a Cupid alert for 14th of February, or it can be space quest, traditional Harry Potter quests. I think most of children love them. Pirate quests here. So again, it's up to you what you want to create. So let's make it a little bit more interactive. Let's imagine that you decided you want to make your quest game. Could you type in the chat or even turn your microphones on and tell what will be your topic for the quest? So let's see. Don't be shy, is to write your answers. Okay. Dorama?
May I say,
Yeah, sure.
now a lot of yeah, students like BTS.
That's right.
As as sometimes I think that I will get crazy about their pictures. I cut them off from their notebooks, from their diaries. They stick it there, and I want to make a quest because it will be very interesting for them, and they will work with this.
It is
Fifty
great.
percent of my students are fan of this group, and it will be interesting to make a quest about this group.
Sure. And you can write the topic, and after step by step, we will think about every detail of this quest. So maybe by the end of our today's webinar, you will come up with some ideas how to make it. Okay. And Fritz was asking what age. It depends on your students. Any age. You can think about one group who you want to make it for.
For my students, they're 16, 15 and 16.
Okay. I think they will definitely love K-pop topic.
Yeah, they
Yes.
even dance.
So you can add some dance challenges there. It's like to copy someone, right? Okay. So fairy tales for girl and anime for boys, right? And you can even choose like exact anime, for example, Naruto. And you can even give different ranges. Like, first of all, they are Ginins after Jonins and something like this. Great. Okay. And the other participants, you can, oh, we have one more anime lover here. So you can write on your paper, so somewhere is the theme of the topic, yes, of the quest. And after, you can come up with some ideas what kind of stations you could make there. Okay, I think we could move on. So we created, yes, we've come up with a theme. Now it is time to decide the format. Are you planning to have it as a 60-minute lesson, 30-minute lesson? Sometimes we combine two groups together and have 2-hour quest, yes, so where we can have more and more tasks. You should also think about the game format. Is it going to be online, offline, or hybrid, where part of your students online and part of your students offline? That is the most challenging thing to do here, but it's manageable. We have already tried that in our center. And of course, the location. Are you going to conduct it in one classroom here, or it can be several classrooms where every classroom is a different station, or it's going to be outdoors, somewhere in the park, if the weather is okay and not so cold in Karaganda like right now, or it can be throughout the building. So we, for example, we are situated in the business center, which is 6th floor, and sometimes we make our students run from every floor, combining and completing different tasks. So think about that. And the same, you thought about your topic before. Yes, is it anime, doramas, K-pop? Can you write the format of your quest, please? How long it's going to be? Where it's going to be? Is it online or offline? Let's have it. And if someone is willing to speak, you can do that too. Online, okay. 30 minutes and online. An hour, okay, great. Great. Is it possible to have it short, like warm up and leads in? It becomes not just a quest in this case. The quest is usually something longer, yes, which will have like 4, 5 sessions, several tasks. Yeah, everything is possible in the classroom. I have already conducted one in mine today here. Okay, great. Now we can move on. So you know the topic, you know the format. Now it's time to make a map for yours. And depending on the number of stations, you can make this kind of linear map like this, or it can be kind of a pirate map or something like that. Or it can be puzzle where you cut out the pieces, hide it somewhere in the classroom, and your students completing different tasks can take these pieces in order to complete the big map. And the programs that I usually use for making maps, it's Canva. Are you familiar with it? Do you use it? Okay, great. The easiest tool to use because I'm very bad designer, so I can just get some ideas here. Oh, you use it too. Fantastic. So you have the task, you know the format, you have the map. Now this time for you to think about the stations, yes, about the number of stations. So usually I recommend to have around 7 stations for your lessons if you're planning to have 1 hour lessons. Of course, if you want to have more, you can make some like up to 10. So why not? And what you have to take into consideration while preparing stations for your students, that dividing them into teams, you should think about their level. It will be not a good idea if you have the group only with strong students and the other group with slow learners. Of course, you know that the strongest students, they will complete tasks faster, and the other team will do that too slow. So that's why it's better to mix up, yes, different levels, and to have in one group several levels, like strong students, slow students, some fast students, and so on. Or if you have, which is sometimes not possible, of the same level students, here just let them choose their own side. Why not? Maybe they want to be with their besties in this game. The second thing, you have to think of tasks that could be done by every student. It's important that every child participates in the quest game. Yes, so that's why try not to make only group tasks, because there's always a student who is the most active, is who does the most tasks, who will be writing, answering without letting to do that to the other students. So that's why try to make some individual tasks too, so they will take part in your quest too. And of course, don't forget to make your task related to your students' level. Here, yes, you will not make something hard. For example, you will not give past perfect grammar to your students who are learning to read, right? So think about this side too. Okay, let's stop there. And I want you to think about the number of stations for your task. Could you again type in the chat how many stations you would like to have on your quest? Mm-hmm. 4 tasks, okay. 3. So maybe 3 big tasks with mini tasks in it will be maybe possible, okay. If you're planning to make 30-minute tasks, maybe 3 will be okay too. Okay. 3. Most of you prefer to have 3. Is it a secret number? Is this your lucky number? Mm-hmm. So maybe, yeah, it will be a little bit time consuming. Yes, if you have more, so you want to save some time for that. Why not? Okay, you have got your theme, you have got your format, and you have the number of stations. Now let's discuss what kind of tasks you can have on every stations. I will show you some examples. So let's start with the first example here. Because everyone is crazy about AI now, so why not to include that on your quest and have AI assistant, yes, in your game. let's imagine, yes, you have got a Christmas topic, and traditionally Grinch has stole the Christmas and we're trying to save it. And here's our helper who gives us different clues. And to make it more interesting, you can make it with help of QR, where students scan, and after scanning, they can hear their helper's voice saying them,
"Hello, I'm Icy, and I'm here to help you to save Christmas."
so saying something like that. And after the other clues to your students, so they will scan, they will listen to what they say and complete the task or do the task how it is asked them to do. And this is easily made on any, you can just like change the voice, like make it more robotic here, depending on your task. So you can do it with help on different AI tools here. Next one, you can also use this type of characters where you can again use the camera and the scan, and they're the character who appears in front of you and starts sharing or giving kind of instructions. Here I took one example from this book. Yes, it's a special book which has already its AI helper or helper which helps you to read the stories or maybe to read the tasks. So why not to use that one? Next, you can of course use some riddles, puzzles, like this. Even if it is an English lesson, why not to give some short instructions in English and make students complete this type of task? Children love them. They always try to find out the craziest way to solve that, or this type of secret codes where they have to find out what is written by old Egyptians. This actually from the quest called Egypt here. Or you can make some musical task. Who doesn't love musical tasks? You can make your students dance, maybe sing or get the melody here. This is a photo from our summer camp where students had to dance for the music and stop, or maybe stop and touch the exact part of the body they are asked to touch, for example. Here, they usually love it very much. Or some task for motor skills. Here we have got the task. It was from our summer camp professions, and there is a house which is on fire, and we have to help firefighters to save it. And their task is throw the special pins and let the water come out, yes, in order to set out the fire. But be ready, it's going to be a little bit messy in your classroom after that. Or on the alternate day with kids, we tried to do some archaeologist job, yes, diving or some finding some kind of words in the sand with help of these gloves. And it's not actually very easy to do. And it's the gloves usually are bigger than children's hands, and they can't even touch anything or open something. It's really challenging for them, but also they love it. And there's also when you set the timer that they have to do fast, their parts like faster, faster, do it faster. They will be also engaged in that too. The next one, some kind of logic tasks like that. Yes, we have seen some examples before. Or also my favorite one, searching the clues in the room. Sometimes in the beginning of the lesson, I stick this kind of clues on the back of the chairs, under the table, behind the board, maybe sometimes on the back of one student when they don't see, and they have to, in limited time, to find all the clues, for example, in order to find out who was the thief. And they usually love it. It lets them to activate, yes, before the lesson. Or some type of balloon-based task. Yes, we can ask them to draw something here. It was from our Halloween lesson. Or this is from our pirate camp, where students were practicing north, south, east, and west. And with help of their partner, yes, with their eyes closed, they have to walk like north, south, east, West, so just only relying on their partner's voice. So of course, sometimes they touch the balloon, it means they lose and they have to start again. So it's always engaging for our students. Okay, I have given you 8 examples for the stations. Now I want you to write, so before, yes, someone said time will over, that's why 3, okay. Now I want you to think, before you wrote 3 or 4, can you think what kind of stations and the task you will have for your students? You can choose from the list I have given to you, or you can write yours. And if you want, you can even say it out loud. So you like the 7th and 6th and 4th, okay, great. It was about the searching for clues, some logic tasks, and the 4th was for musical. Okay, so you have more kind of actives, all of them. Okay, great. Happy that you like them. Okay, number 7, searching for clues. It's also my favorite one. Okay. Find a keyword, solve the problem, and find a treasure and get a wand. Yeah, love it. Okay. So keep it in your mind. And I just want to show you one very important thing. Oh, we have got one more answer. Again, number 7. Everyone liked searching for clues too. And the music, yeah, the favorite ones. So while preparing different tasks for your students, you have to remember one detail. So we'll talk about that later. The things that I called activity letter, maybe a letter, maybe it has a different name, but I couldn't find that, unfortunately. While preparing the task, you have to think about this letter. What does it mean? First of all, your first task is recommended to be calm task. So you just prepare your students that they are going to have the quest and they can have some time to adapt to that. After that, you give a simple task, calm task. You can increase, yes, the energy level of your task and make it a little bit more active here. For example, the first task, you ask your students to look at the map, yes, and say, okay, what can you see there? For example, who is a thief? You're preparing, and after now, find in the classroom clues which help us to find out who is the thief of the Christmas. And after, they run in the classroom and try to find all of the clues that you hid there. And after that, you can add the most active task. It is recommended to have the most active task in the middle of the game, because after that, they need some time to a little bit calm down. It's not recommended to put the most active task at the end of the game, because after students will be like, what is next? Yes, so they are not ready to leave. Yes, they're not ready to say goodbye and go home. They need something else. So we should provide something for them. So that's why try to leave the most active in the middle, not the end. After that, you can gradually decrease the level of the energy here. Yes, a little less, yes, a little bit less active task here. And at the end of yours, you can make again one more calm task. So try to follow this activity ladder so your students will not leave your quest unsatisfied, thinking that they could do more, but they couldn't. And so that's why try to rethink about your task that you have chosen and try to think, which you will put the first, which will be in the middle, and what will be in the end. Now let me show you a little bit more task examples. So here you are. For kind of active task, you could also have some kind of archery or shooting. Children love them. Today we had the task where they had to like shoot icicles which were drawn on the board, yes, in order to help Mr. Wolf. Or sometimes they can use darts, but please be attentive that students are not walking in front of that. So try to think about some safety rules here. Next, some kind of jumping on the cards, and you can again combine it with music where they should dance, 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 music stops, and they should also jump on the card with exact color or with the exact word here, or Twister. That was the time when we decided to make Twister ourselves, but it wasn't a good idea because children left the quest with their socks colored. Fortunately, parents didn't say anything about that, but as a mom, maybe I was like, how did it happen? So think about that too. Some games with straws is when they have to take, with help of the straw, the cards and transfer it to a different place, or with help of blowing the card, put it on the right position. And also you can do that with help of timer, or maybe make two teams compete, yes, against each other, who will do that faster. Or kind of fishing. I don't have the photo, but today we had the thing, like we had Mr. Fox, yes, who had his sleigh, yes, fallen down, and we helped him with help of this fishing rod, which I made with help of the stick, the magnet, and I just clipped the paper with the photo of the sleigh, and they had to, with help of this fishing rod, just to catch it. Here, let me try to make it. And just pick it. And sometimes I can have the words or the task written on them, so you can just read it out loud. If it's my young learners group, they just read the words. If it is stronger students, I just make them read the words and make sentence with it. So it's up to you. Or some kind of photo hunt, which I had with my online team, hybrid team, by the way, where part of students were online, part of students were offline. So I made them compete against each other, online versus offline. So first of all, they had to find out what is written here. Yes, and if you mention, the letters are mirrored, as they have to first of all find out what is written, and after take photos, yes, which are set here. For example, one says, take your photos that you are having a birthday party, and that's the offline team made their photo like this. So children usually enjoy that too. Also, some food-related activities. So children, after doing that, they can have some snack, why not? Or with help of cookies and marshmallows, we made some star constellations here for the day. So why not to use such idea too? Or costume modeling. This is kind of the task as zombie for Halloween, or making children draw different faces, something like that. But the one thing, please check it before, because sometimes they are not washable. That's the problem that we had. So children draw on each other, they had funny faces, but when it comes to when the time came to wash it out, it was a little bit problematic. So that's why check that in advance. Is it washable or not? So not to have such problem that we had. So it is about the active tasks and about the written one. Not always, remember we had our activity ladder. It shouldn't be always active, active, active. We should sometimes calm down our students, especially on the beginning stage and the last stage. And traditional, you can write a letter to your future self. We usually do that on our New Year's, where we ask our students to write to their future in May. Yes, maybe they can write some kind of resolutions here, or some kind of card words, matching or filling the gaps and so on. I think as a teacher, you know, variations of this type of card task, maybe drawing, maybe dictation here, or dot to dot, making them draw something on the boards, or tasks like name 3, describe something, explain something, or with help of the word to create a story. So it is up to you. So this kind of examples of active task and written task. So presentation, I think, will be given to participants, so you can after rewatch it and see some examples here. Okay. I see that we have no questions in the chat, so we can move on. After you decided the topic, the format, stations, the games, this time to make a presentation for the game. Why I recommend to make a presentation? Because in case you will have your students online, yes, you can let them to participate in your quest too. Or later, you can also sell this quest to your colleagues, so why not? And my favorite variant here is PowerPoint because it's free and sometimes it's already enough is to make some kind of interactive tasks here. But if you want to make it more interesting, you can use Prezi. Yes, Prezi.com here. It really makes dynamic. For example, you can have space topics. There is a solar system. And when you click on the planet, it makes you closer and enlarges it. But the thing that it works only online and it is a paid platform. So just it's not free. But presentations are really amazing there. So if you want, you can try that. Also, there is a similar platform, which is called Dashboard here. And again, it's only for online. It means you can't download that and after share it with your students. Here, you can only use it in online format. And my second favorite one is Canva. It is also paid, but it is much cheaper compared to the second and third variant. So you can try PowerPoint or Canva. It is up to you. Okay. Oh, we have a good question. How do you manage noisy classes when using gamification? So I guess most of you know some kind of, and it's a great idea if you agree with your students in advance about some rules. Yes, that we shouldn't interrupt each other, we shouldn't jump on each other or fight with each other if someone answers wrong. So that's why, first of all, we agree with our students about these rules in advance. And because we usually conduct quests with our students who usually we work with, our first lessons with them in the beginning of the year are dedicated to the classroom management tools where we make set of rules. We have got a poster, and according to that, they have several rules that we have to respect our partners, we have to listen to them, we don't interrupt them, we don't laugh at each other's mistakes. So, and this poster, and I remind about these rules in this poster, and so that's why when even it is a quest time, students know about the rules. We just remember, we have got the rules on the poster. So it lets them to not to forget about the rules. And sometimes students can remind each other, remember, we don't laugh at each other, or we don't shout, and something like that here. So usually this thing that helps me here. And I think the second question I will answer later here. Okay. Now, could you write in the chat which kind of program would you like to use for your presentation? Or maybe you already used. It will be great to read. Maybe you have something that I haven't heard about. PowerPoint, okay. Even in PowerPoint, you can make really engaging presentations with different moves and so on. Canva, here also great tool. So mostly, Prezi, wow, that's really cool. We have some Prezi fans here, great. Oh, Progress Me, also a good tool to use here, but honestly, I haven't conducted a quest on that platform, so it will be interesting to know how you do that, how you conduct it. Okay, thanks for your answers. And you have got your topic, You have got the format, number of stations, the tasks, you have your presentation. This time to think about trophies and rewards to your students. It's a great idea to say that you have done very good job. You worked really well. Thanks for participation. And traditionally, it can be sweets. Children usually love sweets. And this is a photo of pirate quest where they have to open the pyramid. You can see that is actually a cookie box that we used in order to make this pyramid. They cut it out, open, and there they have the box of chocolate coins. Yes, you see some gold, silver coins. Or they can be certificates with nominations here. And again, there's a photo from our pirate quest. You can make different nomination according to your students, like Miss Flexible, Mr. Active, yes, Mr. Handsome, and something like that, depending on strong sides or some special things about your students. Or it can be kind of discounts for the education in on your lessons or maybe in your centers. Sometimes it can be gadgets. Here we made Halloween quest, and also we asked our students to dress up. And for the best costumes, they were given kind of VR glasses, headphones, and so on. Also, you can think about some cash prizes if you want, why not? Some kind of trophies and medals. They usually love it. So it is up to you again. Now, can you write in the chat what you would like to have as a trophy or reward for your students after your quest? So traditional for us, it is sweets. And for New Year, we usually give like kind of advent calendars for our students. Famous books, oh my gosh, I would love to be your student. One time on the conference, I think you have read the book Atomic Habits. But on the conference, we had Hugh Deller, the Outcomes book author. I didn't have his book, unfortunately, so I just took Atomic Habits and asked him to sign it for me. He didn't want it in advance, but he did it. Some souvenirs, candies, yes, and books. Okay, it's great if your students love that, if they read it. Okay. And as one more idea, sometimes you can give kind of certificates for different maybe bookstores, online bookstores, or maybe for services like Wildberries, Ozon, Flip, and so they can buy what they want. So we usually give such type of certificates to our online students, yes, who can't be physically in Karaganda. Okay, thanks for sharing your ideas. Okay, we have got your trophies and rewards. And what is the next step before you conduct your own quest? You should prepare all of the material. Be sure that you have got your printed map. Yes, it is still from our pirate quest. You should make your ready-made presentation. Yes, that could be conducted. You should think of the characters, location, background, if you want to use them. So we, on our pirate quest, we have different characters helping us. Chef from Italy, yes, Pharaoh from Egypt, and so on, or the King of England helping us, and the pyramid that you can see behind. Different attributes, yes, you can think of different hats. Maybe we even had the beard, the mustache, and so on. Why not to have like that? Some kind of game accessories. So here we are trying to make from the cookie box a pyramid. So our students can cut it out and have their sweets. Some kind of task cards where you can save them. Answers to task cards if you're not sure that you remember anything, everything here. Of course, your gifts and certificates with nominations here. And let's sum up. First of all, we come up with our quest theme. After, we plan with you how long, yes, is it going to take, the format. We also create the map with different stations here with you. We think also about different tasks and timing for our stations. We can prepare some additional tasks in case if your students finish faster than you planned, so you can have some optional tasks to make them do that. Of course, think about the trophies and awards. It's a great idea to have something for your students by the end of the quest. And it will be a great idea if you write everything into a script. So in case you forget what is the next step, you can just have a look, see, and continue your quest. Prepare all the handouts, printouts, characters, and everything there. And of course, conduct the best quest game ever. So I tried to make it very fast. I hope I didn't speak too fast and everything was clear. Now I would like to listen to your question and answer them if you have so. So let's have a look at your questions.
Yeah, what a wonderful presentation. I think lots of our participants gained some insights from your presentation. Yeah, and I believe that, yeah, they will try to do some of them during their classes. Yeah, that's for sure. And of course, yeah, dear participants, now please feel free to ask your questions. You can leave your questions in the chat box or in the comment box on Facebook, and we'll just make sure to share them with our speaker today. Thank you.
I see that some questions in the chat. We discussed some managing noise in the classroom, and the question was, how did you come from engineering to technology to teaching? From my childhood, yes, I dreamed of being an English teacher because of my tutor. He inspired me. But when I came to her and asked, like, teacher, where should I go to study to become an English teacher? She said, don't do that. Here, like, you already know English well, so, and I can teach you the approaches. Just find an engineering, so it's going to be your second plan. And I listened to her. And actually it worked for me, but anyway, I came back to teaching because it was my love. Yay. What are the questions we have? How often do you conduct quests? How I said in the beginning, usually we conduct it at the end of every term. So it means we can have it 3 times a year. Sometimes we can have quests for different kind of holidays. We traditionally have quests for Halloween, for New Year. Sometimes we can have it for 14th of February, for the Valentine's Day, and at the end of the May, as like I said, end of the year quest to see what I have learned. Is it time consuming to prepare for the quest session? Yes, it is. I will not lie about that. It is really time consuming to think about the ideas, but but after some time you can get used to that, because after buying a lot of different quests from our Russian colleagues who already have different ideas, we started making our own, and now it is not a big job to create different ideas, stations. Of course, designing materials takes more time, but creating the quest itself with the ideas, the stations, the task will not take so much time. So by the end, I can leave my contacts, and if you have some ideas and questions, I can help you to come up with your quests and recommend some good ideas for your stations, the task, and so on. Can quest sessions be used for formative assessments? Yes, definitely. That's what I usually use them for. So today we had with our students a Christmas quest already, and I have checked, like, can they read? Yes, I had, can they use, for example, irregular verbs and so on? So by giving different tasks, I can always check that.
Gulnur, that's wonderful. And if you have any online resources that you find some, let's say, some prompts, or you can find some additional materials just, to prepare for your quest.
I can share how I said the quest we bought before we started making our own. We bought tons of materials from our Russian colleagues, and I think I can add the links to them because they are super useful, and I sometimes use it from year to year. So I think you will love them too. And you will not spend your time for preparation for that, just only for
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Like, to get started, some teachers need some help because, like, when you see it, then your creative thinking will boost. Like, you will find out, okay, I can adapt it to this my class, or I can adapt it to that of my students, and that it helps because, like, sometimes teachers they don't know where to get started.
Agree with that, right? And so using this quest also inspired us to make our own. So like, why not? So any other questions?
So as for building skills, based on your observation, so how do these quest games contribute to building language skills or to building like some useful skills among your students? What are your observations?
That's a really good question. During the quest, we have got rules like no Russian, no Kazakh, so they have to use only English, and it lets them to use some kind of language. Yes, can I have this? Can I be first? Or like, can you answer first, for example? So it lets them to use the functional language we learned with them before, yes, on our lessons. It helps them. And also if we talk about, for example, the soft skills, it lets students to become the group leaders. Yes, and it also can help us to engage our shy students, because if we, for example, think about our classroom, so if you think like in terms of inclusive classroom here, we try to make our like every student engage and active on our lessons. So even to shy students, I know that these students will not talk much, for example, especially in front of everyone. So I usually try to set up the role to every student during the quest, so I can be sure that everyone participates here. And I also try to give some individual tasks that they can do. If I know the shy student will not talk at all, okay, you will be the timer. You'll be conducting and saying you speak, or maybe the student will be writing down the answers of the other students. So in case of like team building, building some leadership skills here, practicing some functional language, quests are, I think, great tool. Yes, you could get the presentation. I have actually already sent. I think it will be.
Yeah. I think more than that, like it also fosters collaboration, yes, among the students.
Right.
And creative thinking, because like quest it requires like overthinking and deeper thinking. So it takes time like to communicate and also just to get along, because they have one common kind of interest, yeah. Yeah, and therefore like I think it also just learning from peers, that's really interesting.
Definitely right. And they help each other. They make each other like to speak more, or like now your turn to answer, now your turn to shoot, yes, and so on.
Okay.
Oh,
All
we
right.
have one question.
Yeah. So please, dear all, don't hesitate to ask your questions. If you have, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Thank
So we
you.
have a question. What about children's resolutions to quest games during lessons? Could you a little bit specify your question so I could answer it? So Dilavar, yes, if I'm right. You can say it out loud if you want.
Yeah, Dilovar, please kindly, yes, formulate your question. So it will be easier for Gulnur to respond to that. Yeah, and also some people asking, yes, to share your presentations. Yes, dear all, we will share these presentations through EWB
So, hello.
website. Yeah.
Hi.
So, thank you for an interesting and energyful presentation. About it was a very interesting, and for me it's very useful to, and I will use your activities during my lesson. So my question about the children resolution. It's about maybe it's during the lesson, if the children want to sing, to make a new game by their things. I'm about this.
You mean like if children want to
Maybe we
add
can
something?
use.
Mhm.
So can we use? I'm about the children resolution. Maybe in the end of the lesson, we can ask the children, "Do you want to play something new?" So if you want to play something new, maybe you sing at home, and next lesson we will be play about your resolution. I'm about this.
Mm-hmm. So why not? Actually, about adding extra activities, yes, if you really have some time at the end of your quest, so you can, so that's why I recommend you to prepare a little bit more tasks. So after maybe in case you finish earlier, your students can choose something to play. But remember, we have got the activity ladder. So try not to make kind of active task by the end of your session because they will be too engaged and they will not be ready to leave your lessons. They will want more. And in case I like your idea is that students can build up their quests. Yes, maybe they can add some ideas. We want this activity, and this activity. And you can combine them and make it for the next quest. So why not here? So you are the teacher, you are the leader of the group, and it's up to you how it's going to be. And if you want your students to be engaged in creating that, I think
Okay.
very great. Yeah?
So that's what. So and I have a little box in my classroom. In the this box named by children resolution or lesson resolution by pupils resolution. So if the groups will be winner or the children who may answer the question or take a good mark from the teacher, they will be write in the tab their resolution and put in the box. And next lesson, the teacher, I will be play their resolution together, and prepare a little game about their resolution, and play with them. If the people answer to the question, all my question, and take from me a good mark.
I love
It's a chance for them. Yeah, it's chance for them. It's very interesting for them. They will only want to be a winner, because I think the resolution is it's interesting for them.
Thanks for sharing your idea. And we have got, I think, one more question. How do you address moments that seem to kids unfair? Because in competitive situations, this feeling appears very often. Yes, we had such moments today in the morning. I divided to things like the boys versus girls, and the girls were actually maybe more active here. Boys like, oh, yes, something like this. We're not child, we're children. It's childish here. But I add a special task. For example, we have shooting, and usually boys are better at shooting or throwing something here. So I try to combine this task. So if I know that I'm going to have such type of groups here, and I know that this will group complete it maybe better, so I try to add this type of task. So both of the teams, maybe even more, can feel that they are doing really, really well. And by the end of our session, of course, we have the winner, but all of our students are given different presents, gifts, sweets. So it means that they actually anyway wins, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so and if there are any last minute questions, dear all, you can ask. And in the meantime, let us convey our deepest gratitude to our speaker today for the wonderful presentation. And yes, of course. I know that Gulnur shares her Instagram account where she updates and shares all the updates that emerging, and she's greatly sharing them with bigger audience. So yeah, please stay in touch, and we'll be happy. So okay, I think the last minute question popped up. So what is the teams end up with draw in quest? What if the teams?
So I'm sorry. Here, honestly, I didn't have any. Here, 1 second. Let me remember. So that we should think of that the task is not to win the other team. The task is just to win in the quest, right? So their task is to complete the quest, to complete all the tasks, maybe to save Christmas, yes, from Grinch and so on. So actually that is the most important point. So I'll try not to make a stress on winning the other team. So yes, your team competing against each other, but your task is to complete the same tasks, yes, the same station. So we just try to like focus on little different things.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, most importantly, there should be some collaborative environment, yes, and friendly environment in the class rather than competitive environment. Yeah, to some extent, you can combine both of them, but overall, like, they should be healthy atmosphere for learning. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. Once again, huge thanks to you, Gulnur, and we will be happy to host you again during the EWB webinar. And of course, yeah, so it's our pleasure. And of course, yeah, dear all, thank you for joining and investing your time into your professional development. And I believe, like, your just, gain box has increased through the presentation shared by Gulnur. And we look forward if you share your feedback in our Telegram group, where you usually share your teaching experiments, your teaching practices, and your teaching tips, what you do in your classes, and bring lots of enjoyment to your students. Thank you so much, dear all. And using the moment, yeah, I would like just to wish a happy new year to you, Gulnur, and lots of joy, success, and all the best in the coming year. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting and having me here.
Yeah, it was our pleasure. Yeah,
Thanks
stay
so
in
much.
touch.
So, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.